Hello everyone and welcome back to Monsters of the Past. As always, I'm your host Mr.G. You know, when people think of dinosaurs, they usually think of big lumbering lizards or human-sized pack hunters or things like that. But today, we're talking about a meat-eating dinosaur that completely defies all theropod stereotypes. In this episode, we're talking about the tiny little animal known as Compsognathus. Wait, what? Okay, I've just been informed that apparently it's Compsognathus. You know what? No, I'm in too deep. I'm just gonna keep calling it Compsognathus. Compsognathus doesn't even sound right. You have a problem with that? I really don't care. I'm calling it Compsog. Compsognathus means elegant jaw, and is a member of the Compsognathidae family. It was a carnivore that lived during the late Jurassic in Europe. At only a few feet long, Compsognathus was not a very big animal. In fact, it actually used to hold the record for smallest dinosaur. However, first of all, it was found out that Compsognathus was actually bigger than it was previously thought after a French specimen was found, revealing that the original specimens were juveniles. And also, dinosaurs that were smaller than it, even in their adult forms, are found. And considering the fact that birds are dinosaurs and some species of birds are small enough to fit on a pencil eraser, it is quite safe to say that Compsognathus lost that title. But despite that, Compy still has the distinction of being the first theropod dinosaur discovered from an almost complete fossil. In fact, the discovery of Compy was the first step to realizing that theropods are actually bipedal and not quadrupeds, but it wouldn't be until Eustro that this bipedal thing got applied to all theropods. Believe it or not, despite their small size, scientists think that compies were actually the apex predator of their regions due to a lack of larger carnivores that could compete with them. Before you question this, just keep in mind that all apex predator means is that an animal is a carnivore that nothing preys on once it reaches adulthood. It has nothing to do with size or ferocity. One last thing, despite what a certain franchise says, there is actually no evidence of pack hunting behavior in compies. In fact, they weren't even designed to attack big animals. Their frames were too light, and their teeth weren't designed for cutting into large amounts of flesh. Now that we got that out of the way, let's look at the card. You know, you might think I'm strange for saying this, but I actually kind of find this thing kind of adorable. Like, I genuinely kind of want to adopt it. But then again, I know Andrew would probably eat him alive if I did, so it's probably best not to have any other pets. I mean, seriously, just look at this thing. It's adorable! Okay. Well, first of all, when it comes to errors, it says that it also has been found in China, which makes it pretty obvious that they are mixing Compy up with its relative Sinorthenosaurus, because Compies are only known from Europe. But hey, at least this card actually dismisses the notion that it was a pack hunter, which is admirable. Wait a minute, this back of the card straight up admits that the creature found in China was a Compy relative, so why are they still claiming that Compies are found in China? Okay, that is a really confusing error. I give this card a 9 out of 10. I still want to take it home with me. Now let's look at Compy and pop culture. In the Jurassic Park franchise, compies were made famous after they appeared in the second movie, where they were even in the opening scene where they're seen attacking a little girl. This is actually a scene lifted from the first novel, except that, and I need to get this out of the way, the animals in the first novel were not actually Compsognathuses, but rather another dinosaur known as Pro-Compsognathus. And yes, there is a difference. But then again, the movies themselves have never been clear as to if these are Pro-Compsognathuses or Compsognathuses. The reason I say this is because they're given the scientific name at one point of Compsognathus triassicus, triassicus being the species name of Pro-Compsognathus. So yeah, it's, weird. Anyway, in this movie, compies are portrayed as pack hunters that travel in huge flocks and are capable of taking down prey many times their size, which is obviously inaccurate. In real life, they were hunters of small animals like bugs or lizards or stuff like that. And like I said earlier, there's no evidence of pack hunting behavior. Some Compsognathus appear in Fantasia, and they've made sporadic appearances throughout the Land Before Time franchise. And they're a tameable animal in the video game Ark Survival Evolved, where they can only be tamed by giving them the best cuts of meat. Because I guess they're greedy little creatures like that. There's probably more, but I'm kind of tired of these animals right now. That's all for this episode of Monsters of the Past. Join me next time when I talk about an animal that looked like an herbivorous raptor. Bye!